Welcome to Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, the wildest mixed tag team in podcasting where the kayfabe drops and the chaos takes over. Let's ring the damn bell.
Headlock tight, heels on the prowl, dropping elbows, hearing growl, feel the foul. No script here, just real, no bluff. Kayfabe crack, now the dirt gets rough. Headlocks, heels, havoc in the zone. Stepping in the ring, chaos at your home. No filters, no mask, just raw bare tone. Wrestling unscripted, we on the throne. Title belts, mic checks, crowd going crazy. Drop truth bombs, leaving lines feeling hazy. Beyond the kayfabe, past the charade, where legends are born and stories get made. Headlocks popping, who's hitting the mat? Welcome to the havoc where the real talk's at. Tune in, step through, leave the fake at the door. Headlocks, heels, havoc, now hear the roar.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am one of your tag team trio of hosts, the legend J-Mac. With me, as always, is the red, white, and bruised Uncle Slam.
What's up?
And as always, First Lady of Wrestling Podcast, the Vipers.
Hi, everyone.
Well, I guess I don't really know much. I haven't seen, other than just like a few headlines, I haven't seen much news other than, of course, R-Truth coming back as Ron Killings, and you know, the whole we found out too that Roman Reigns was a hoax.
Oh, okay.
It was somebody. It was a fake profile that put that out there.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is
Well,
not
good.
retired. He said
Good.
he came out
Yeah,
and said,
so
I'm
he's still in the
active.
mix.
But other than that, and the rumors flying about Vince McMahon trying to buy back WWE, that's really all the updates I've seen. I haven't seen much.
So,
of
like, how do
anything.
y'all feel about the idea of R-Truth switching to Ron Killings?
I love it.
I understand his point for it.
I love it.
I like it.
Do you
I think
think it
it's
was
different.
time for a change, or you think his character kind of got stale, and that this is kind of like a push for him to either get a belt or to,
I would like to see him get a title run. I think he deserves it. I don't think it has to be like a long title run. He could be like a transition champion, but just to be able to say he put that belt around his waist.
basically
Right.
like a J?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I would want to see him with the World Heavyweight Championship belt.
Maybe not
or
that one.
Maybe a Intercontinental, maybe a
United States.
It's
You know,
got to be
United States.
world.
why Worlds, though?
Because the storyline is Cena.
Well, obviously,
So if you're going to put him up there on that same level with Cena, then you've got to give him a prize that's on that level. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying he's necessarily going to win it from Cena, but I think that that his world title reign is even going to involve Cena. I
Yeah.
think he could like fight Cena like he's going to,
Yeah.
or whatever, and he'll lose and everything. Give him a good fight, blah blah blah.
well, that's what I believable on that.
Right.
part.
But I think like somewhere down the line, like maybe whoever ends up taking it off Goldberg, because I got a feeling Goldberg's going to end up winning with this whole
I
Gunther
told you.
Goldberg thing. But whoever takes it off Goldberg's going to have to probably be a heel. So he could be like the surprise. Oh, he beat him for the world title. Later on down the line, it doesn't have to involve the Cena angle. With the world title. But I think he does deserve a world title shot, and I think that's one reason why they brought him back. They seen that the crowd will get behind Ron Killings as a world champion.
But they weren't behind him as Ron Killings. They were behind him as R-Truth.
But they're going to get a more serious side now. They're going to get the Ron
Yeah, but
Killings
how
from
is-
the NWA that they wanted.
Okay, but how is the universe going to take that? Because if the universe turns on you, that's it.
I don't think they will.
I don't know, because he's always been known kind of as R-Truth, as the goofy, laughable character, and now he's going to a serious character who's going to be more like a heel or like an anti-hero. So it's like, are the people that loved him for who he was still going to love him for what he is now, is what I'm kind of wondering.
I think so, because I think this is what they wanted from where he was in TNA. I think because where he was, Ron the Truth Killings and TNA World Champ, or not TNA, it was NWA at the time, but former NWA World Champion. As a matter of fact, the first black NWA World Champion. But I think they want that, is what I honestly and truthfully think that they want and they're looking for, because
I had heard that he was the one that requested the Ron Killings not WWE, but he was. That way, he has a name to be able to go with into the indie circuit when WWE does eventually drop him. Because they will.
I got a feeling that was part of the negotiations of him coming back, that he
Yeah.
didn't want to be
Okay.
R-Truth anymore. I've spent 15, 20 years being R-Truth. Like
I'm
he's
tired
like,
of being looked
right.
at like that.
He even said that kind of
Yeah.
in that promo, because he said, R-Truth, likes to tell a good joke, blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
But he also wants to be serious at
Right,
times too.
Ron
He doesn't want to
Killings.
always be the person that's not always mentally
Okay,
there,
okay.
I guess you could say.
And I mean, I don't know any other mid-50-year-olds that are still in the shape that
the
he's
shape
in.
he's
and
never
able
aged
to
a
move.
day.
Right.
I mean, he looks the same as he did years ago.
I wasn't trying to do the splits at 20 years old. He's 50 out there doing it, so.
Well, saying black don't crack. It's,
I mean, hey, obviously not.
doesn't.
Man. Obviously
it
not.
doesn't.
I'm happy for him. Like I said,
I am too.
I think he's taking like a little more control of his own destiny. Like it was true about him. As far as the whole Ron Killings, being able to kind of guide his. I mean, because he doesn't have a whole bunch of time left. I don't think. I mean, obviously in the WWE, I think maybe a year or so, a little bit more. Then maybe he'll go to the Indies for a little bit. But after 25 years, I think he might be close to kind of retiring.
Right.
Calling it
Right.
a wrap.
And, well, people forget,
much as we
too, he
love
was
him.
K Quick when he first came to WWE.
Oh, yep.
Him and the Road Dogg, because he actually debuted during the Road Dogg's match as K Quick. And they decided to rap instead of wrestle.
Oh my God!
I just got 2 words for you. What's up?
Shut up. Never again.
You can get with this or you can get with that. You better get with this because this is where it's at.
No, let's not do it.
What's up?
There's some
love
people
that
that just
song.
don't need to rap, and Road Dogg was one of them.
Right. Like,
Right.
there's no, I tell people all the time, I'm not saying it takes musical talent, but it definitely takes a talent to, not musical talent, but singing talent to rap. But it definitely takes talent, because, I can't do it. And then,
Can't do
Road
it
Dogg.
myself.
I don't know, stick with the singing, Road Dogg. You do the chorus and let K Quick do. But no, I have a question for y'all.
Okay.
What do y'all think about Vince possibly buying WWE back?
Not interested.
No, don't want to see it.
I'm
Not
100%
interested.
with you all.
Do not want to
I
see
mean,
it
as
all.
much as I respect McMahon for what he's done for the business and what he had brought, that's past tense. Okay, that's in the past. Let's move on with our life. Let's go on to something different. Let's quit doing the same things over and over again because obviously they weren't working in the end.
Right.
So
I would
let's
almost
move on.
rather him start another promotion than I would try to come back
Yeah,
to the
probably.
WWE.
I would rather do that.
Which, I mean, I get it. He's synonymous with WWE, but WWE has done everything they could to move on from the scandals. So I think that, bringing him back is just going to bring a shadow over it. Not only that, I do think TKO is looking to sell. I think that's one of the reasons for the cuts is because they're trying to downsize it to make it look a little bit more,
I read
prettier
an
to
article.
people.
They're $3 billion in debt right now.
Yeah.
That's the reason for
I've
all
heard
the
that, too.
pay-per-view or PLEs. I'm
Yep.
sorry, I'm
Yeah.
old
It's like
school.
4 a month and crap like that.
Yeah, like every 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
They're every 2 to 3 weeks at this
Yep.
moment.
Which, I mean, I'm okay with that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it gives you a chance to advance the storylines quicker. You know what I'm saying? Now, I do want long-term storytelling. But I also don't want you starting the story in July and not doing anything with it for a month until August. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least this makes them okay. At least in 3 weeks, there's going to be some kind of incident that's going to happen at a pay-per-view, whether it ends the feud or keeps it going. That's based on the fans. But as far as Vince coming back, I just don't.
No.
I think WWE is doing good now, but I think TKO doesn't know what they're doing with it, and they're putting their foot down too much on the people who do.
I think with Vince actually coming back, of course, would be a bad idea because right now they're pushing the whole PG right now, and and all the baggage that comes with Vince, it's not PG at all. So, and I think that in the age of the internet and being able to Google and search anything out there, that would something that would definitely follow them, and it would definitely bring down the whole family vibe as far as, family friendly when you got a guy supposedly paying for sex or paying off people to hush money. So it's just a bad look, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're a publicly traded company, stuff like that seems to lower your value, and when you start losing money, people got to go. Cuts got to go, and but I kind of agree with you, Legend, or whatever. I don't think TKO knows what they're doing. I think it's basically, kind of like a little playpen for, his son or whatever to do whatever he wants to do with. I think if Vince did come in, I think, honestly, that would be actually better for wrestling because it would breed competition. It would, because their story and their TKO's brand would definitely get better, which would force the WWE to become better because they would have to. It'd be like the WCW, so you got two different brands pushing each other because right now WWE just dominates everything. I mean, there's no they are the top. I mean, there's nobody else.
Right.
I mean, you got them, and then you got everybody else underneath.
It's right, because it's almost like AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, all those and everything are competing with each other.
Yeah.
WWE's sitting there watching them compete.
More than they are with,
Right.
When back in the day, it was WWF or WWE, whatever you want to call it.
WCW, ECW.
And WCW or ECW, it was more, but that's not the case. So if he did step over to KKO, I would like the idea, but WWE, I think it's fine where it's at right now. Right now, I think they said they are losing some money or whatever, but if I'm getting a lot more pay-per-views for my dollar and shit, I'm happy about that shit.
Right. I mean, especially with the way Peacock's set up where, you pay one price and get to watch all of them. I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I'm just glad that we don't have to pay the $50 and $60 like we used to.
Yeah, now that shit, they were killing us on.
I can't tell you how the amount of debt I went into just to watch it,
Lots of cable bills didn't get paid.
Come for me. Go ahead. Go ahead and come for me.
And the
I
library
owe
that
you
you
money.
get of old matches and shit.
Right.
Be able to go back and watch shit, the Raws, the SmackDowns, like WCW, all that shit. It's worth the money alone.
It's a wealth of knowledge. I mean, I hate the fact that WWE has edited some of it, but, with the day and times we live in.
Everybody's so sensitive nowadays.
We've talked about it before that wrestling wasn't always the best culture, to be in if you weren't of a certain skin tone.
Well, there's a lot of stereotypes. There was a lot of,
It was. They're big time.
When it comes to, certain people, whether it was blacks, Asian, Native
Latino.
Americans,
Latinos.
Yeah, if you wasn't a white
If you was
man.
Native American, you was definitely dressing up as an Indian.
Yep, Tonka.
Yeah, I mean, if you was black, you were probably coming out to some kind of music.
You're
and,
a pimp.
Right, yeah, a pimp.
Yeah,
You
I'm on
got
board.
some kind of rap music coming.
Yeah.
Well, at the time, wasn't rap. It was probably more like, Bad Leroy Brown or something like that. They were just stereotype,
Somebody's going to get their ass kicked.
Right. Hey,
Mark Henry.
Hey, I love Mark
Well,
Henry.
I do too, though.
I have a question for y'all.
It's just simple. What's that?
So with all the money issues and all the releases and the moving of WrestleMania from New Orleans to now Las Vegas, which is weird that they had a graphic like the day of that they released that they was coming to Las Vegas again.
Sounds to me like negotiations were already in plan with that, but go ahead.
Yeah,
with your-
without them,
Yeah.
they're just whatever with it. But with all of this money issues and everything, how do you all feel about them bringing back people like Nikki Bella and Goldberg? Okay, let me rephrase this. I haven't seen where they officially have said that Goldberg is coming to Monday Night Raw,
Okay.
but there are numerous reports that that's where he's going to be. That's the reason why I think he's going to be the mystery opponent for the Fatal 4-Way. But how do y'all feel about them bringing back old people that haven't been here in a while?
I love legends. Haha, no pun intended.
Love yourself.
Present company excluded, of course.
Dad joke.
But I'm at a point with the legends where I lived through the 90s, and at the time I didn't realize it. Maybe you didn't even realize it either, Uncle Slam. But there were a lot of legends back then that didn't want to let go and didn't want to let that younger talent come up. There's no reason why we had to wait till WWE to get the Chris Jericho that we know today.
Right.
You're
You
saying
know
there's a lot
what
of gatekeeping, basically.
Well, there was just a lot of politicking and a lot
True,
of
true.
people, and don't get me wrong. If and I'm going to call you out by name, if I'm a Hulk Hogan and I know these people were dumb enough to give me creative control, and I know I can draw myself another $10 million over the next 3 or 4 months by saying, no, I don't want to drop the title. I mean, it comes to a thing of, are you doing this for your family? Are you doing this for your business? You know what I'm saying?
Like, what's the real reason?
Right. So, I mean, I don't know what played into all that, but at this point, I'm tired of legends being in the ring.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't
100%.
mind them coming out, making an appearance, waving a hat. You know what I'm saying? That's great. It's nostalgia. You want to bring one out every now and then to throw a punch, and knock one of these young guys out just to, do something like old school like that. That's fine. But
But to set up matches, like now we have a match set up for Evolution between Nikki Bella and Liv Morgan.
right. And
Like,
I'm
where is
sorry.
this coming from? Where is this coming from?
Because she came out and somebody said, "Oh, you want what I have," and I mean, it's just, no, she doesn't want what you have. It's
I'm not invested.
I'm not either. Like I'm just tired of every 5 months there's a new legend to bring out
Well, same
and
thing
take a
with Goldberg.
title off somebody and end somebody's reign. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat with y'all to a certain point, but I think when it comes to the Goldberg and the Bella, it's just a little bit different. The Bella, it's like putting her in a match now with women would just almost make her look bad because, like, she wasn't terrible, like she was more the transition between the pretty girls to the athletic ones, but she was never what, like, a Sasha Banks or
Right,
a
like
which
Becky
one of
Lynch
them was
were and
always
shit.
hurting? Was it Nikki or Brie?
It was
hurting
Nikki
people.
that was always hurt,
I'm
I
not even
believe.
sure about that. I mean, they all look the same. Hell, so
Well, they're
it's kinda-
twins,
Yeah,
so-
so- But I
They
just
do not look that much alike. I can tell them apart.
the only one way I can tell them apart.
Oh, stop that.
And it's true.
It's
Stop
damn true.
But like I think I think it would almost just make her look bad. Like I said, unless she's just hard up on money and she's just trying to make a comeback to get a
Well,
like a little extra
Her
bread.
life issues. I was thinking.
I'm kind of like you. Like, I don't mind seeing her maybe at a pay-per-view once in a blue moon or coming out, to ref a match or to, show. But I don't want to see her like a whole year, shit like that. Goldberg, the more I've learned about Goldberg, I guess the less I like of him because it seems like, and, we'll get more into it, once we have that issue on the Rivals about, he fucked up a lot of people. I mean, like, as being, like, very unsafe, very stiff, just... And it's like, especially he put my, probably my favorite wrestler out of commission, where he couldn't work again, pretty much.
See, when we get to Rivals, we'll definitely have to get into that because I do have a question for you as far as that goes.
But so, on that, and because I was always a big Goldberg fan, I was just like everybody else back in the day, the streak, and then always wondering if Stone Cold and Goldberg got together, who would win and all that type of shit, obviously. But I don't know. Like I said, unless he's picked up some new tricks, I really don't want to see him, honestly. Like I said, I mean, I don't mind him coming out for a pay-per-view and, maybe like a Royal Rumble or something like that coming out and fighting. But I don't want to see him, for a title run.
15 spears in a row was cool 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't want
Unless
to see
you're
it.
Braun
now.
Breaker.
Well, that man spear a brick wall.
I know. Son.
But like I said, I mean, I just feel like he's too dangerous. Like he's gonna hurt
Yeah.
somebody. Honestly, like
Yeah.
I said, I've just heard way too much about.
Well, look at what he did to the Undertaker. But that's. I don't know. And that's what it is. I just think that I've noticed with John Cena, And yeah, John Cena's a legend, but he's not a retired legend. He hasn't been retired for
Sure.
years and years and years. You know, he comes back, makes his appearances. But even I've noticed that, like, he falls weird now. He doesn't sell the same way. Have you noticed,
noticed that too, actually.
Yes. It's like,
It's a
watch
lot
his
different
matches.
than it used to be, for sure.
He doesn't, it's almost like he doesn't want a flat back bump or something. I don't know.
He
It's-
lands kind of at an angle instead of straight back.
and it's real stiff and just kind of like a mannequin. He like stiffens up and falls back like he's been turned to stone or something.
Maybe he's a little rusty. I don't know.
I just think it's the body breaking down.
Well, yeah. I mean,
because
how old is he?
In his 40s.
Yeah, I mean, no, he's
think-
50s now. I think. I know he's a few years older than us.
But he's been in wrestling for what, 20-some years?
25
Yeah, 25
years.
years.
I mean, that's a lot of time. A lot of
Right.
time on the body.
And I'm right, and I've noticed too that his body has changed. I've noticed that he kind of walks a little bit more tilted forward, like kind of like that. I don't know
He's
the people.
48 years old, guys.
He's
Yeah.
only a year older than me.
Almost 50.
He was born in 77.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, I thought he was a few years older than me. Well, you know,
I thought he was just a few.
we all can't be beautiful like me. No, I'm just joking.
I think John Cena said he's okay. I don't think he's worried.
I got all my hair. No plugs. No
Oh,
plugs.
God.
No, I'm
He's got plenty of hats, he says.
little gray. Right. Well, he throws them out to the crowd, though.
Yeah, but he gets to do it every day.
All right, that's all the updates I've really got and everything. You know, like I said, it wasn't really a productive week, other than just the releases some too. So that's all. You got anything?
Not really. I mean, I guess we could talk about
Right, I was gonna say, if you ain't
like
got
Money in the
nothing else.
Bank, and then
Yeah, we'll hand it
Raw,
over
and then
to-
SmackDown. Yeah,
We'll hand it over to Miss Vipers so that she
Well,
can do
Money
the
in the
update.
Bank was pretty. I don't know. I kind of knew what was really going to happen, except for the women's Money in the Bank kind of shocked me. I know, like, when we last spoke, we didn't know who the last person was going to be in the women's Money in the Bank, and it wound up being Stephanie Vaquer, which ended up being my pick
Yeah,
because
I think you
too.
predicted she
I
was
did
going to
predict.
be in
I
it.
was hoping that she was going to
Yeah.
be the one to win her triple threat, and then be the one to go on, and then go on to win the title. She did not do that. However, she did have a great weekend. She had Friday. She won on SmackDown. Then she won at the AAA pay-per-view or PLE.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
okay.
So I assumed that she was going to win. I mean, she had momentum like no other. But your favorite person, Naomi, wound up winning that.
I was.
Really,
It
really
surprised me, but yeah, that's.
I'm just glad. I think this was her fifth, like Money
It
in
was.
the Bank or
She's-
something like that. So I
They
think it was
finally gave her
deserved.
one.
Yeah, I think she deserves it or whatever. Now the real question is, when it comes to the women's Money in the Bank, whose title is she going after? Is she
She's going after Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany? Do you
Yeah,
think?
she called her out last night.
Now I did see that or whatever. I saw him in the ring or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I almost felt like what's her face?
Naomi, or not Naomi, sorry, Naya.
Nia would be a easier target, honestly. But
They just had that beef, though.
yeah.
That's who she took the title from. That's the reason why Naya is so aggravated and pissed off, is because of all that crap last year.
Tippy time.
It is Tiffy time.
But I'm okay with it. Like I said, I don't have a problem with that.
My only thing with it is just that, like, I've just never been a Naomi fan.
I was way back when. I don't like her character now.
I liked her when she was tag team, and I think she's all right as a solo. Now the whole crazy, instead of being good, I think it was about time for a change or whatever.
Yes. I think maybe that's what it was for me. It was the whole character, the
Yeah.
glow thing.
I
I
don't
just
know, I
couldn't.
like the glow
I couldn't
character.
take it serious enough
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
a
yeah.
champion. Like, I could see it being intercontinental tag team, but being world champion, I don't care about you coming out to your neon colors. I want somebody coming out that's going to whoop somebody's ass.
A little
You
darker,
know.
yeah. I feel you.
And now the crazy Naomi could, depending on how they do it and everything. Well, I don't know if it's really the crazy Naomi, whatever it is they're playing it up to. More
She
serious
crazy.
Naomi.
Crazy.
She
What, caution's her whole thing? Like, be cautious or whatever? Or,
She
what's her
crazy.
catchphrase?
But yeah, I mean,
Well, what about the women's 100% success rate when cashing in the Money in the Bank?
I think they
I
learned
did
from
not know
the men
that.
or whatever.
It is. It's 100% success rate. Every woman that has cashed in since they've started it has won.
smarter about it because I think the men's is only 80.
76%.
Is it 76? Because there's only a few that I think that haven't cashed in, and I think that was in the beginning when they first started doing it. But that's very interesting. I mean, that's something that I did not know about.
Yeah.
That I guess the women are smarter when it comes to cashing in their.
Well, it
Women are
seems to me the
meticulous.
women actually wait till the other one is actually beat up in the ring
Exactly.
instead of coming out like in the middle of the match.
Well, Naomi was going to act like she was going to cash in her title last night on Tiffy because Nia annihilated Tiffany Stratton.
No pun intended.
No, that's her finisher.
Right, the Annihilator.
And but Nia told her, "No, you ain't doing that on my dime," and ran her off. But that's what you do. You have to pick your time. What about Seth Rollins winning again
Kind of predictable.
with help?
Yeah, no real
There was
surprise there. I wanted, of course, I wanted Fatu, but he didn't get into it. I did
Right.
like when he came out. I wasn't
knew Seth was
surprised
gonna
when
win.
Seth was going to bring out his group, but I enjoyed when Solo brought out his people. Now the whole Solo getting betrayed by
I
Fatu.
hate you.
I hate you. I kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Not
was
really
funny.
surprised or whatever and shit. 'Cause I didn't think he was going to win the Money in the Bank anyway. I didn't really believe that. I thought LA Knight honestly was going to win it.
I did too.
That was
I
my
was
I
pick.
really thought Seth was going to win just because
But
of the
I
momentum
think
he
Triple
had.
H just must really hate LA Knight or some shit because
Reports have come out that he's not
I
sold
mean-
on him.
because he is. I mean, because he
They
is just
put
not
him
getting that
there,
push anymore. Yeah. I mean, he gets
and then
right up there and he just
They jerk it right out from underneath
exactly.
him.
So I mean, I don't know what the man's got to do to fucking get that last little push.
He's over like Grover, man. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know either. But to be honest, who all was in that match?
It was LA Knight, Penta, Solo Sikoa,
Yeah.
Andrade, Seth Rollins, and then El Grande
It was
Americano.
LA Knight that I picked. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd pick Seth Rollins.
So who's Seth going to take the belt from now since the whole shakeup with Jay? And like, what do y'all think about the whole shakeup with Jay and Gunther now that what happened?
I think it's stupid because they're just setting up for a storyline with Gunther and Goldberg, and
Think
I'm just
Goldberg-
not interested. I'm not interested at even 1%.
What do you think Seth factors into the whole, since he has the Money in the Bank and he has to choose between either John Cena and because he did come out on John Cena I think last time on Raw or whatever towards the end, or do you think because before he was more interested I think in Jay Uso's belt, but now that Gunther's got it,
Here's a thought.
Mhm.
What if we're getting worked?
what do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking is happening.
Well, I think we're getting worked. Maybe we may not have. We may be on the same page as far as
Yeah.
getting worked, but I don't know if we're on the same page as by who.
right.
Well, explain it to me.
I don't know who yet.
I
Explain yours.
think
Your theory or
my
whatever.
theory is possibly
Uh-huh.
that all this Rock heat and him going away and all of a sudden, well, the real reports are that, there was tension between him and Triple H or something like that as far as
I've
like
heard that before.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I don't think with The Rock being a big time owner in TKO and stuff, that Rock's not dumb either. Business is business, money's money. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to like each other to work with each other.
Mhm.
So what if The Rock what if they pulled him off and everything and they went a redirection to where it's not going to be like a bloodline type group for The Rock, but The Rock comes out as he's the one really behind this Seth Rollins group. He put it together and they're going to kind of turn their back on John Cena, and that's what puts John Cena back to being a good guy before he retires, because there's already hints at John, doing it like when the crowd, he went ahead and hit R-Truth and kicked him in and he dropped the title and was like, "Oh, I can't do it," and then walked up.
But like, what's the connection between Seth Rollins and The Rock? I don't see where the connection on that is.
That's the whole point.
That
There
seems
is
like
no-
a reach.
but Seth Rollins is a top tier guy,
True.
and The Rock has got him a top tier guy to run the group, and then he's got 3 young henchmen. And it wouldn't surprise me if he got in the ear of Sami Zayn.
You don't think he would choose that over the Bloodline? And obviously, Sammy's going to go dark, but I thought he was going to go dark more with like the whole Christian
Well,
cross.
because
or
think
the
about
other guy.
this. So he comes out eventually. Seth
Who does? Sammy or The Rock?
Well, okay. So Sammy somewhere down the line ends up joining. Is my theory.
Joining.
The Seth's group.
Okay.
Well, Seth somewhere down the line is going to cash in that Money in the Bank, become the champion.
On Cena?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably soon. I don't know if Cena will be champion by the time he retires, but who knows? He could too. But something's going to happen, and it could be he could wait till then to cash it in till that night, and retire John Cena, and then The Rock come out, and The Rock. Everybody think, oh, Cena, Rock's here to help Cena, blah blah blah, and then The Rock does the 4 or however many numbers he's doing, cuts the throat, and Seth pounces on, or somebody else, Braun Breaker spears John Cena. John Cena's a good guy again, loses, blah blah blah. But the connection is now The Rock has his champion to go after his cousin who turned on him, Roman Reigns.
I don't know, man. It
That
seems like a
sets up-
reach right there
but
on
that
that. I mean,
sets
that's
up-
you
So-
grab me
but-
kind of far.
Well, but think
I
about it. You got to set up for WrestleMania next year.
Okay.
So John Cena's not going to be WrestleMania next year, and
Dude.
he's got the main championship.
Like, how many dates are left on his?
What is it?
tour?
19, 18, something like that.
I think it's 13 now.
Oh, is it 13 now?
So he's not ending
As
with
of last
WrestleMania
night.
or whatever.
No, he's by the end of this year he's gone
Okay.
because
his
they've got
last
a
date is in December.
they've
like
got
the
a
end of
special
December.
pay-per-view for him,
Oh,
Ruthless
yeah.
Aggression.
Okay.
So that's where I think it's going to happen. Because that puts you in December. That gives you from December till April to set up your WrestleMania storyline. And that can be when The Rock comes back, boom, end of the year. This gives something big to build on the road to WrestleMania. I think that could happen because then Roman's going to come out and be like, I want Seth. Because it's not just Seth, it's his cousin and his bitter rival joining forces to take him out. That's my theory. Sorry, didn't mean to go on.
No,
Sorry.
I mean, you're fine. I don't know. Like I said,
I think Seth's going to pull out another, just like he did at the last WrestleMania, last time he had Money in the Bank, and he screwed over Roman.
So you think he's going to wait for Cena, or you think
I
Gunther
think he's
and
going to
take
wait
advantage
till Cena's last match.
and just going to take advantage of the situation?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think.
I can see it happening.
After you said that, it started like, I don't know. It started cranking in my head, and I think now that Cena's gonna take it all the way to the end, he's gonna win it, but then Seth is gonna cash in at the end.
Roman's too big of a guy to have sitting on the sidelines for too long.
Roman doesn't even want to do anything.
Right. But you take Roman and bring him in, he's a part-timer now. He's a John Cena now. And I don't mean that anything wrong. He carried the
just
company
is.
for 4 years, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But Roman's the type of guy now, you can't just bring him in to do little angles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it
You-
has
you-
to be big.
Yeah, Roman winning the Intercontinental Championship. Well, if you put him in a match with the Intercontinental Champion and he doesn't go over, then you're burying Roman Reigns. And granted, you're lifting up the Intercontinental Champion, but what good does that do anything at that time? You know what I'm saying? My thing is Roman comes in, it's got to be major story, world title picture.
So you're predicting that Seth is going to use his Money in the Bank to go after Cena, and that's what's going to turn Cena to a good guy from a heel.
Right.
before he retires.
Right, that night. And then he'll come out on Raw or something like the next night and say, hey, I love y'all, bye, blah, blah, blah. But the night before, at that Ruthless Aggression, I think, is also where The Rock is going to be revealed as the guy behind this Seth Rollins faction.
He might be.
Vipers, what about you? You kind of agree with the legend, or are you more got your own little take on this?
I'm not really sure at this point. Like I said, I think he's just. I just would wish that The Rock would just go on somewhere. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm over it. I don't need to keep hearing the same crap over and over again. I understand you are a chairperson on TKO. So fucking what? So what? Who cares? Go on somewhere. We don't need you in the spotlight all the time.
Ain't there a Jumanji 3 to make?
But there's other people that deserve that spot. I feel like I will always feel that way. That other people are getting
Tooth Fairy
spotlight.
2.
Exactly.
Let's not even talk about that. Scorpion King.
Let's not even go down that rabbit hole, man.
Doom.
So the next or PLE, I keep saying pay-per-view, y'all, but that's where
What
I'm
were the
coming
other
from.
matches on the... Was that all the matches?
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, I was right about the Bailey thing.
Oh, yeah, Bailey.
I was
She
2 days off. I was 2 days off, though. Becky did wind up beating Lyra for whatever. I mean, I know that why they did it, really.
Yeah, like I knew it was coming.
But
No
it was
surprise.
stupid. But I was 2 days off from when I said Bailey was making her return. She ended up making her return on Raw and attacked Becky whenever there was a confrontation between Becky and Lyra out in the ring. And she showed right up. So I was right. They're setting up for a match on Evolution in 3 weeks.
I knew old girl was gonna lose when she came
Or
out with
6
the
weeks.
damn wings and shit. I was like,
Didn't Dominic Mysterio wrestle, too?
yes.
Oh, yeah, he did. He wrestled a guy from AAA.
Yeah, AAA.
I'm just going
It
to go
was
out
the-
on a limb right now. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut
you're
you
fine.
off, Vipers. But I'm just going to go out on a limb, and I'm putting this prediction down today.
Okay.
Dominic Mysterio is going to be the next big heel in
Oh,
wrestling.
dude, I've called that from the day
That
he
man
started.
can troll people like nobody else.
Love him.
He can get heat by smiling.
Yes, I love Dom.
And it's because he's still playing up the whole Eddie was my dad and Ray was a deadbeat. You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah, that
he's
angle.
playing it up, and he's
And
doing
he's
it.
so good
he's
at
staying
it.
in character outside.
so
and
good at
yes, I'm telling you right now, that man
I
can
knew.
get heat from anything he does. He's like I said, he smiles now.
Do you think him and the Judgment Day are gonna stay, or you think they're
No,
No,
they're
they're
going to
gonna
split up
split.
into
Split.
two different
Okay.
groups.
Yeah, he's going to be Latino Heat 2.0.
okay?
If you
Who's
know,
going with him?
as long as Chavo has something to say about it.
Liv and Raquel. Liv and Raquel. And then I think that JD and Finn and Roxanne Perez are going to form their own little,
Okay, I could
like, anti-Judgment Day.
I could kind of see that. I mean, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that, too.
I think Dominic's going to be good.
I wish I had known y'all way back when Dom first debuted. I predicted way back when. There's something about this kid that there's just something about him. I don't know what it is, and it's not the fact that he's Rey Mysterio's son. It's just there's something about him, and I don't know if it's just because he grew up in it. He knows it like the back of his hand. But there's something special about him, and
Well,
then you just watch him
He's
grow
like, what,
into what
fifth
he is
generation?
now. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Damn,
It's
I mean,
just
yeah,
it really is in his
insane
blood.
to me. I'm thrilled with how it's gone for him. I really am.
I just think he needs to get a little bit more muscle on his bones, but that'll come with time. You know what I'm saying? He started young, and his
No
body's still
juicing.
developing. Yeah,
No
don't
juice.
juice. Don't
Don't
juice
choose.
at all.
Do it naturally, please.
Yeah, and if
I beg
if
you.
he doesn't, he's still killing it out there.
He is killing it, and not even really. He's wrestling a little bit more now than he was, but he's still like the biggest heel, and he's not even. He wasn't wrestling for a little bit.
I like old Dominic.
I do too.
Oh, Dirty Dom.
Were there any other matches that were
Not
worth talking
for-
about as far as winning
Besides
the
Oh,
belt?
there was
the-
only like 4 or 5
Yeah.
There
matches.
was 5 matches. The only other one we hadn't talked about, and that's because we've already really talked about it, was the Cody and
Oh yeah, the tag team
the
match.
tag
yeah.
team match that really was kind of pointless in the end.
Yeah, no surprise really.
It
on
wasn't
that,
a
on the
surprise.
win. I
No.
mean,
That
Who
was
was
the way
it that
was
won?
There
Jay
was
and Cody.
yeah, I mean there was no
Yeah.
belts on the line.
Well,
so I wouldn't-
because John was he hit Cody with the belt
Oh yeah.
while the ref was out,
And
and then all of a sudden
Ron
there's some
Killings.
dude in a black
Hoodie,
get up,
yeah.
and the only thing you can see is like 2-3 inches of his back.
As soon as I seen
a
that,
black
Well, yeah,
dude.
I already
I'm
knew
like,
it was
okay,
Ron.
so who-
I mean,
I didn't know. I
Ron
didn't even
Archer.
know.
I didn't realize. They had me fooled. I'm not
They
gonna
had
lie
me
because I
fooled
did
bad.
not expect Killings to be the guy under the hood. Because of course I thought he was fired. But then as soon as I seen
That was
like
one of the
she
biggest
said,
pops I've ever heard.
Yes, when he was sitting there on top and he was hitting him, I looked up and whenever I was looking, I seen that little bit of his shirt come up and I seen his back. I said, "It's R-Truth!" Oh my god!
It didn't even occur to me. Like, I seen it, and I was like, okay, so who does he have beef with other than R-Truth? But it didn't occur to me where he did get released.
They
so.
brought Orlando Jordan back.
Oh, my God.
No.
So the next PLE we have is King of the Ring.
The King of the Ring.
Yeah, it's June 28th.
I love the King of the Ring pay-per-view.
I like this one. This one is going to be so much better than the last one.
Yeah, we got a king and queen, right?
We do.
Okay.
I have the entire breakdown if you'd like to hear it.
Yes, ma'am.
I do, but I do want to say one thing about the King of the Ring. I miss when the King of the Ring was just literally the one-night tournament. There
Like
weren't any
everybody
other-
fighting over and over
well,
and over.
Well, no, it was just the King of the Ring tournament. You would have your qualifying matches on Raw to qualify for the tournament, but there were no other matches on the pay-per-view except for the tournament matches. Like when Bret Hart won it and stuff
Yeah.
and everything back in the day, that's
So
how
they
it
had
was.
to do multiple matches in a night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yes. It was
Okay.
like 3 or 4 matches you had to wrestle in one night.
That's
and I think they
crazy to me.
stopped that because of
That's crazy.
injuries and stuff.
I mean,
and
that's a
everything, but
lot on anyone.
It is, but I miss it being that way.
Well, let's talk about the women's first, just because there's so much to discuss with the men's.
All right. That's fair.
And it'd be a self-explanatory in a minute. But
Qualifying matches this
Yes.
year, aren't they doing?
They're doing
fatal
Fatal
four
Four-Ways.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
there's 2 men fatal 4-way, or let me see. No, there's 4 women's and 4 men's fatal 4-ways that have happened. All of them except for there's 1 women's match and 1 men's fatal 4-way match that hasn't happened, and they are happening on Raw and possibly SmackDown next week. But the matches that have already happened was Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Kairi Sane. Roxanne Perez is the one that won and qualified.
Okay.
It's Liv's fault, but
They're getting ready to
I-
push Roxanne.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. She's getting a big push.
that's
yeah.
the reason why I thought originally before Stephanie won qualifier for Money in the Bank, that I thought that Roxanne was going to be the one to win, personally. The next match that had already happened is Jade Cargill, Mi Chen, Piper Niven, and Nia Jax. Jade Cargill won that one last night.
Okay.
I love Jade.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I
about
didn't
her.
like her at first. I'm starting to turn on her just a little bit at a time. I liked her outfit last night. It was really cute. I'm just going to say. I'm a girl. I'm sorry. I can't help that. Then the next match we had...
I like her outfits too.
It was last night also. Shut up. Was Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Candice LeRae, and it originally was supposed to be Chelsea Green, but last night she video called Nick Aldis and said she couldn't make it because her flight something was wrong with her flight, so she didn't make it to Lexington, our hometown.
Yeah, speaking
So,
of which, SmackDown was
Was
in
in
our...
Lexington last
Yeah.
night, but they put Alba Fire in instead. But Alexa Bliss wound up winning that one. That was y'all have to, if you
yes. I
didn't
love
see it, you
Alexa.
have to go
Yeah, I
back
got a
and watch
chance.
it because I think Alexa's not going to win her next match just because of the fact that her and Charlotte are beefing at the moment.
Charlotte Flair?
Yes.
Oh, no, but see, I think she will because Charlotte doesn't have anything else to prove. Charlotte is a huge enough name now to where she can get beat. It's not going to hurt her, and it's only going to lift somebody else up. And Alexa hasn't been in the title picture for a few years. Didn't Alexa just have a kid?
She did. She has a 1-year-old now. Yes.
Yeah, so she's been like doing the mom
she got married
thing.
and got pregnant pretty quick.
Her husband's a musician or something like that.
He's a member of LFO from the 90s. I don't know. I'm a teeny bopper, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes,
wow,
he's
that's
the
insane.
blonde dude.
Was he,
his name's Ashley.
He was on American Idol or something too, wasn't he?
I don't think so. No, this was
Because he
pre-American
plays the
Idol.
guitar and everything.
No, this was pre-American Idol.
Oh, wow.
LFO sings Summer Girls.
But
I don't
yeah.
know. You have to look him up.
But yeah, I mean, I honestly and truthfully, I think they're getting ready to lift her up because of, like I said, she was constantly in the title picture before. You know, whenever
Who, Charlotte or
no,
Alexa?
Alexa.
Well-
because of when Sasha and Bailey and all them
Yeah.
first came up and everything, she
Well-
was constantly fighting for that title.
I think they're setting up for a match at Evolution between Alexa and Charlotte.
Yeah.
And here's why. Because Alexa and Charlotte for the past couple of weeks have been beefing and talking backstage. They haven't really said much, but they clearly have been not on the same page. They've been arguing with each other or whatever. Last night they had that fatal four-way with Alba Fire and Candice LeRae. The match, Charlotte ended up putting Alba Fire in the figure four and put it into a figure eight. Alba's trying so hard not to tap. Lexa comes in with Candice LeRae, gives her sister Abigail, gets the 1, 2, 3. Alba taps 2 seconds after that.
Damn.
So Charlotte is vividly pissed off.
Of course.
Like visually pissed off because it's like they're both like they're inches from each other inside the ring, and then Alexa gets the 1, 2, 3 before Alba actually taps out. But there's one more match that's set to go, and I found it online, and I don't know if you've all heard about Asuka.
No, with Asuka.
Lately. She's been out for a while for injury. But I found online that the next match is Asuka versus Stephanie Vacure versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Ivy Nile. I personally want to see Stephanie win. I'm always
going
gonna say that.
Stephanie Valkyrie.
Vacure and Raquel Rodriguez and Ivy Nile.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where they're getting Asuka from unless she is set to come back on, I'm going to assume, Raw.
Hold on. What was the first match you said?
The first match was
Roxanne Perez?
Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Kairi Sane.
Now, who's the last match you just said with?
Asuka, Stephanie Vacure, Raquel, and Ivy Nile.
Who's the Perez woman?
Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne Perez. Raquel.
Roxanne and Raquel.
That's why I'm getting confused.
okay.
I was like,
Sorry.
I was like, is she in 2 matches? How's she?
No,
gonna win?
she isn't. No.
It's 2 different people. Okay, I was
Yeah.
like,
But
So
that match
Roxanne,
hasn't happened
Raquel.
yet, so. But the semifinals are as follows: Roxanne Perez will take on Jade Cargill, and then Alexa Bliss will take on the winner of the Asuka, Stephanie, Raquel, and Ivy match.
I think out of all this, I'm gonna have to go with Jade to
Yeah.
win it all.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm kind of agreeing with you on that.
Plus, I think that they are going to give her a push too. I was going to go Alexa, but
I
yeah,
think Alexa's back too soon for her to go right back into it.
I think she needs to. Now that I think about it, she probably needs to get like a U.S. title or an Intercontinental title.
Who, Bliss?
To kind of like reassert dominance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get a good run with one of those, and then go back up to the world title picture. Because, I mean, she's good enough to where she can do it with either group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think she's going to go for a world title. I don't think she's content like Liv Morgan is with just being a tag team champion or something. You know, just having a belt instead of being, the belt.
Yeah. I definitely think she wants world title status, but I just think right now they're going to push Jade. because Jade's the big acquisition from AEW.
I don't
She had
know.
that injury she's just coming back from. Cause
I'm okay with Jade or whatever.
I am
like
too.
that.
I like Jade.
I think she needs to work on her promos some. She's still the kind of strong, silent type, but I think once she learns, a little bit better on the mic, I think
Yeah.
she'll get a better push. But I don't have a problem with that at all.
I'm always going to say Stephanie, but at this point, I'm not going to make a decision just because, even so, that would put Alexa Bliss facing Stephanie Bakir.
Yeah.
That would be a hellacious match for one.
Like-
Even Roxanne and Jade's going to be a good match.
I like Stephanie, but I feel like Cargo's going to win, though. Like I said, I want Stephanie to win, but I think the story's going to go with Cargo winning,
Jade.
honestly.
I'm
Well-
just a big Jade Cargill fan.
Well, the winner is going to receive a title shot at SummerSlam, so
Okay.
there you go.
So I could definitely see her getting the title shot. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be upset about that.
right.
Good.
Now we're on to the men's. So we've already had 3 of the 4 matches
Oh,
to
damn.
set for the semifinals. I know, right?
So, who won those matches?
We've got Sammy won the first.
Uh-huh.
Sami Zayn.
Ooh, Sami Zayn is king
He
of the
beat
ring.
Penta, Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio.
I remember that.
Randy Orton also qualified, beating LA Knight, Aleister Black, and Carmelo Hayes, which,
I didn't see
if
that one.
you all don't, I don't know if y'all remember, but Carmelo Hayes won King of the Ring last year. Or no, was it King of, no, he won Andre the Giant. That's what it was that he won.
Battle Royal.
Yeah, he won the last Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Who was king of the ring last year?
It was,
Because Xavier Woods was the year before.
was that the year before?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Look it up.
Who was king of the ring for 2024?
Or did they even have one? I don't remember if they had one or not.
Gunther.
Oh, it was Gunther.
Yeah, because it was
Because he
Xavier
said-
Woods, then Gunther.
Yeah, and he went on to
Okay.
face Cody, and then Cody wound up winning. That's right, at Crown Jewel.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. And then the third match that has already happened was Cody, Damian Priest, Andrade, and Shinsuke Nakamura, and that happened last night.
And who won that one?
Cody did.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes won
Yes.
the. See,
This is why I'm
Sami and
saying the
Cody.
men's is going to take us a second to get through
It's
because
not-
it's a stacked.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't. Who were the other 3? Shinsuke, Damian.
Shinsuke, Damian, and Andrade.
I'm
They made
sorry.
Andrade
Out
look
of
like
that
shit.
one, I would have either went with Damian Priest or
I would have went
Andrade.
with Damian.
Well, see, Damon's got the whole beef with what's his name?
I think Andrade would have been a good choice.
I don't
Let
think
him
he
win.
has a beef right now.
I thought him and
Drew McIntyre?
Oh
Yeah.
no, that ended.
No, that ended a while ago. Drew's been out. I
Not
actually
this
have
last
something to say
pay-per-view,
about
but the
him.
one before
okay,
that.
okay.
I actually have.
She said I have
A little
I
bit
have
about
things
Drew.
to say about Drew, so remind me.
Yeah, well, it's coming up with
Okay.
this. There is one more match left, and it will be happening on Raw in 2 days. Sheamus versus Rusev versus Bronson Reed versus a mystery opponent.
I'm gonna go ahead and I don't even
You're
care
gonna
who
call
the,
the mystery person.
Yeah, you said the mystery person. You think it's either gonna be Drew or Goldberg, didn't you?
Yes, Drew McIntyre or Goldberg, one of the two.
I could see it being
Either
Drew
one.
more than Goldberg.
I can now.
Yeah,
I'd
now that
rather
we've
see
talked
Drew
about
than
it.
Goldberg.
I would too.
I just don't want to see Goldberg.
but I honestly,
I don't
and truthfully, out of that, I want to see Rusev win.
I would too.
like
Honestly,
Rusev.
yes.
Without knowing the mystery opponent?
Yes.
I like the new Rusev.
I
want
wish they
Sheamus,
would have brought
sorry.
him back as Miro.
Okay.
No, Miro is.
No,
I like because that's his real name.
I get that. No, Rusev is his real name.
I
Rusev
thought
is his
Miro
real
was
name.
his real name.
But out of those 4,
I
who you
want,
think's winning?
I want Rusev.
I would have rather have Sheamus.
No. I'm talking about out of Sammy.
Oh,
And everybody else.
who was it? Sammy who?
We had Sammy,
Cody
Penta. Oh, all 4 of them. We
Yeah.
have Sammy is going to face Randy Orton in the semifinals.
No. Who won the? Oh, are we doing the semifinals now?
Well, yeah, I was
Oh,
just
okay.
wondering.
The second round.
Yeah,
after,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So we got Sammy versus Orton.
Randy. It'll be Sammy versus Randy, which I think that
Randy.
Randy will automatically win that,
Yeah.
and I will.
I do
stand-
too.
I really. Do.
I hate to say that, but I think
I love Sammy, but Randy's so much better.
I think that's going to play into Sammy
yeah,
turning.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
It's
gonna
another
be-
bad
yeah.
thing for him. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's gonna get kicked in the head, and it's gonna help turn him. It's gonna flip that switch.
He's going to flip the switch on his Duma Flachi.
And then the other match is going to be Cody Rhodes versus the winner of the Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and the mystery opponent. So that match right there is just all up in the air because we don't even know who's going to be in the original match.
If it's Rusev, I need it to be Rusev because Cody does not need to be king of the ring. You know what I'm saying? Cody finished his story. He is a king of the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like you don't want to see him go for another title shot or anything.
Well, yeah, but Cody Rhodes is going to get another title shot because he's Cody Rhodes, not because he's king of the ring. But
Okay.
I think Rusev, if those two end up meeting, Rusev beating Cody, and kind of like a battle of AEW guys, you know, that went to AEW, helped lay the groundwork for AEW, but I think it boosts Rusev to beat Cody,
See, Rusev,
even if it's by disqualification. You know what I'm saying?
Rusev
Long storytelling.
hasn't lost yet or whatever, and I'm pretty sure King of the Ring ain't there no DQ since it's a Fatal 4-Way
Yeah.
because
As long as it's the Fatal 4-Way. If
Yeah.
it's the one-on-ones, then no, it's regular
Okay.
rules.
Yeah, these are one-on-ones, right?
okay.
These
My bad.
are one-on-ones. These
Okay.
are all
The Sami
Fatal 4-Ways.
Zayn and Randy Orton
Yeah.
is one-on-one. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking because I could see Rusev and Randy Orton in the finals. What good does it do to
I
put
don't.
Cody in the?
I see Rusev not winning but not
know.
losing. Like I
Sorry.
see somebody else getting pinned, and then Rusev, I mean, because since he's been back, like he hasn't lost, he's pretty much dominated everybody and shit. And I don't think they're gonna let him just lose just yet. I don't think he found his guy. I think him and Sheamus were supposed to. Was Sheamus supposed to be an opponent coming up soon for Rusev? Or-
Yeah, it's Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and then
Okay,
whoever the
okay.
mystery opponent is.
I don't see Rusev getting over. Like I would like to see him, but I see him and Sheamus, having a feud, and then him dominating Sheamus, and then maybe going for a title. Like I think it's
don't
too
know.
early for him to come for a belt just yet.
Looking at it now, I just thought about something.
I bet you're going to say what I was getting ready to say.
They're
I bet you.
they're setting us up for Cody versus Randy.
Yes! I was literally going to say that.
I would be okay
like,
with that.
That's why I just said long storytelling. It is. I don't think this mystery opponent match is even
Because-
going to matter because it's going to come down to Randy and Cody, and then they're going to fight at King of the Ring, and it's long storytelling. I'm telling you, it's coming from way back when.
I know what it's going to come from. I know what it's going to come from.
All the bullshit from Legacy.
But the one specific thing, I seen the video clip the other day. So there was that years ago when Legacy, they were in the ring and Dusty came out and they were all standing there. And
I know what you're
Randy
talking about.
Orton shakes Dusty Rhodes' hands and then hugs him. And as soon as he lets go, he just jumps up and RKO's
Yeah.
him. And like Cody Rhodes is looking, and like Randy gets up, walks kind of like towards the corner and turns his back on Cody. Kind of like, hit me. Hit me. And like Cody's
And Cody
behind him
doesn't.
going,
He
like,
never
he's
gets
wanting
revenge
to do
for
it
that.
and everything, but he doesn't do it. He just gets down and starts checking on his dad and everything.
I
It's
swear.
Long,
I was literally getting ready to say that.
Long-term
You caught me
storytelling.
before I said it.
I would love that. Like I said, to me that is definitely a great story. So,
And then the winner
okay.
will receive a title shot at SummerSlam.
But who's going to win that? Let's say if
That's what I'm
this
saying.
story
Who's
comes
going to
Randy.
win between Randy and Cody? I will always say Randy because I think if they're trying to find somebody to take that title off of John, and that's what they're doing with this particular match, Randy is the only person that is the equivalent of John Cena in the wrestling world.
But are they going to continue off this tag team match with Cody? You know
No.
what I'm saying? Are they trying to
Well-
build a Cody Cena too?
I don't know what they're doing.
No, because I don't think people want to see that.
I
Like,
don't either.
Because I mean, that was no surprise. I mean, like nobody thought Cody was going to beat Cena.
And not
Nobody.
only that, it wasn't. It was a good match. It wasn't.
It was
wasn't a
miserable. I didn't
WWE WrestleMania moment match.
Yeah.
You know, we won't even try to put it in the same category as a Steamboat Macho or a Undertaker Shawn. You know, arguably the two greatest matches in WrestleMania history.
But Cena's got to lose to somebody big. Like, he's not going to lose
That's
to
what I'm
somebody
saying.
small.
It
And
has
That's
to
why
be
I
somebody
think
big.
Seth.
No. Well, see,
Seth
that,
down the
yeah,
line.
like it
And
could
it's
be.
going to turn him good because it's going to give him his reason to turn good because The Rock turned on him. He thought he had The Rock backing him this whole time, and The Rock was really
Backing
backing
himself?
the guy that was trying to get The Rock's cousin. Because he came to him and was like, man, this guy ain't going to go. Seth came to him. This guy ain't going to go after Roman. I want Roman just as bad as you do. So let's build this. Look what Roman did to Bronson in War Games. Bronson broke his ankle. Well, he didn't do it, but you know what I'm saying? He was on the other team.
Yeah.
You know, look what he did to him. He's got revenge. You know, Braun Breaker. He's got the argument that his spear's better. Sami
Kinda
Zayn
is.
comes out. You never did believe in me anyway. You always made fun of me in the bloodline. So he's gotten people together that have beef with Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns ain't on TV right now. They're saving him.
He's in hiding.
He's going to come out when least... that's just where I'm going.
Well, we're going to save that theory, and then we're going to put it to the test. And
Yeah.
My
to
Jey
see how-
Uso theory didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, but...
Well, our next recap episode will come the day, like we will record the day that Night of Champions. No, King of the Ring. Sorry, I don't know why I keep doing that. It sounds all the same.
Night
But-
of the Ring, King of Champions.
Yeah, all of that.
Night of the
But,
Ring, King of Champions.
yeah, the next time we record will be the morning of King of the Ring before it happens, so we'll have a more detailed analysis for y'all. Anything else y'all want to discuss? Anything? Excuse me, that has happened.
I don't have anything else. I got a couple of announcements. That's it. I mean,
Sure.
other than that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's
I just want to let everybody know that we have a big announcement for us. We have kind of made a friendship. I won't say necessarily a business partnership or nothing like that, but kind of like an olive branch with the local wrestling organization, Elite Wrestling Alliance. They hold shows a couple times a month at Jenny Rogers Community Center in Danville, Kentucky. They're holding one June 20th. We will be there setting up a merchandise table. We
Answer
will,
questions.
answer questions. You know, we'll be there. You know, come out, get a shirt. You know, say hi. You know, take a listen to. You know, ask us questions about the podcast. You know, meet us, see how goofy we are in
say
real
hi.
life and everything. You know, I mean, we're just trying to have fun, and you know, we're huge wrestling fans like you all. So, and not only to come out and see us, but come out and see all the great talent, you know, of all elite. Wait a minute, not all elite. I keep messing this up. Elite Wrestling Alliance, EWA. But yeah, good guy, good owner. Seems to really care about the product. You know, wants to help the business, loves the business. And you know, they just crowned their first women's champion,
They did.
and she will be making her first title defense the 20th, Friday night, I believe.
At
He
7.
said doors open at 6 o'clock, and I think bell time is around 7. So come out, have a good time, see some good wrestling, you know, and just, you know, enjoy the wrestling and enjoy the show. Come meet us. Anything else from you guys?
Just support local wrestling. That's all I have
Yes,
to say.
absolutely.
yes. Support local
Support
wrestling.
local, support indie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, keep it going.
Yes, wrestling is not just WWE, AEW. I know we talk a lot about those pay-per-views and stuff and everything. We don't really have a whole lot of, you know, it's hard to talk about all of it, so we try to hit on the big stories from AEW when we can and stuff, and you know, but we try to hit on all of it. We have limited time and limited resources, but wrestling is wrestling. You know, it doesn't matter if it's AEW, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor or just, the organization
Backyard.
organization that goes up in, the armories around this nation, support it. It's wrestling. Those people in those armories are doing the same thing that the guys you see on TV were doing 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So you may be watching the next John Cena, the next, whoever. So, yeah, come on out and see the show. And like I said, it is Friday, June 20th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Elite Wrestling Alliance, Danville, Kentucky, Jenny Rogers Community Center. And, guys, if that's it, I don't have anything else. Is that it?
That's all
That's
for
it.
today.
All right, let's ring
Ring
the
the
damn
damn
bell.